network's medium of bringing happenings in the economic sector of the society to our discerning viewers. This program is aimed at bringing to the doorstep of viewers the business, financial, and economic activities from all strata of society. Its delivery is accentuated through the various stock exchanges across the world, news about government, economic activities, private sector business activities, listed expert opinions, stakeholders analysis, and correspondence reports. By the end of the show, you can be rest assured of being informed accurately of financial activities around the world. I am your host, Wendy Aguma. Headlines. Vandals plunge Nigeria into darkness. FG set up committee to assess risk. Mix ahead of inflation data. Currency markets await inflation clues. We'll take a short break, and when we return, we'll read out the details. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back. Now let's go into market reports, local and international business news for today. The deliberate destruction of power infrastructure by vandals in hindering Nigeria's ability to provide reliable electricity to its citizens. Despite the government's effort to upgrade old infrastructure and increase power operation, the activities of these vandals continue to undermine progress. The Transmission Company of Nigeria has reported numerous incidents of vandalism, including the destruction of transmission lines, substations, and distribution equipment. The company has expressed concerns over the alarming rise in vandalism of transmission installations across the world. The federal government has reiterated the need for collective action against vandals of power installations, and the TCN has appealed for the support of all Nigerians to curb the attacks on electricity installations. The Minister of Power, Adebayo Adelebu, has blamed cartels and saboteurs for the attacks, stating that they are importers of power generators who do not want the power sector to succeed. The fight against vandalism requires collective action, and only through cooperation and determination can Nigeria overcome this challenge and achieve a stable power network. Please let me know if you would like me to make a recent survey by the Central Bank of Nigeria reveals that 74.2% of respondents believe the Apex Bank should have reduced interest rates in July, contrary to the 50 basis point hike to 26.75%. The CBN Governor Olayemi Cardoso justified the rate hike as a response to persistent inflationary pressures. However, the survey shows that businesses and households perceive July's inflation rate as high, attributing it to energy, exchange rate, and transportation costs. Nigeria's inflation rate moderated to 33.40% in July, down from 34.19% in June. The CBS Inflation Expectation Survey aims to gauge perception of current and future inflation trends and drivers. The majority's call for lower interest rates highlights the tension between controlling inflation and supporting economic growth. As the CBN navigates this delicate balance, it must consider the impact of its decision on Nigerians and businesses. The survey's findings underscore the need for a nuanced approach to monetary policy, one that addresses the concern of both inflation control and economic stimulation. CRC Credit Bureau, Nigeria's leading credit bureau, has reached a significant milestone with over 30 million Nigerians now having credit scores with its repository. This achievement highlights the company's commitment to enhancing financial inclusion and fostering economic growth in Nigeria. A credit score is a numerical representation of an individual's creditworthiness derived from their credit history and serves as a critical tool for lenders in assessing the risk of lending to a borrower. With over 30 million Nigerians now possessing credit scores, the financial system has become more inclusive and transparent, allowing more individuals to access credit facilities previously out of reach. The company's goal is to ensure that every Nigerian, irrespective of their economic status, has the opportunity to build a credit history. CRC Credit Bureau will continue to invest in educational programs to help individuals understand and improve their credit scores and leverage the latest technology to provide even more accurate and comprehensive credit information. This milestone is just the beginning as CRC Credit Bureau is committed to driving further financial inclusion and economic empowerment in Nigeria. With easy access to credit, businesses can expand operations, invest in new ventures, and drive economic development. Individuals can pursue personal goals such as home ownership, education, and entrepreneurship with the backing of accessible credit. CRC Credit Bureau's achievement has the potential to increase financial inclusion, economic growth, and financial advancements for Nigerians, for millions of Nigerians. The federal government has established a committee to assess and manage various risks confronting the country. The committee, set up by the President Bola Tinubu, is expected to submit its findings within 4 weeks. The announcement was made by the Managing Director, Chief Executive Officer of the Bank of Industry, Dr. Olasupo Olusi, during the annual conference of the Chartered Risk Management Institute in Lagos. The conference, themed Emerging Crises in Africa, Way Forward, also featured remarks from the President, Chairman of Council at CRMI, Dr. Ezekiel Oseni, who disclosed that the Institute had sponsored a risk management bill at the National Assembly. The bill, which has already passed its first reading, mandates every ministry, department, and agency to establish a risk management function. The conference also witnessed the signing of a Memorandum of Understanding to establish the Federation of African Risk Management Associations. In his keynote address, the Deputy Governor of Lagos State, Dr. Obafemi Hamzat, emphasized the importance of risk management in governance, citing insecurity, economic growth, and technological advancement as key risk areas. The CRMI also awarded honorary fellowship to several individuals, including the Governor of the Central Bank of Nigeria, Olayemi Cardoso, and the Executive Chairman of the Federal Inland Revenue Service, Zach Adedeji. The Chartered Institute of Project Management of Nigeria has resolved to ensure that only certified professionals are authorized to manage projects in Nigeria. The registrar, Herim Badiwe, stated this at a recent training and induction event, citing legal provisions requiring certification and licensing. And Badiwe emphasized CIPMN's goal to foster local talent and ensure high standards in project delivery, saying we aim to build human capital in Nigeria, teach proper project delivery, and regulate the sector to prevent quacks. He acknowledged slow government support despite some progress and commended the Minister of Trade and Investment, Dr. Doris Uzoka Anite, for her support. The president of CIPMN, Akinola Babalola, reiterated the organization's dual role as a regulatory body and professional institute, saying we regulate project management, train, and build capacity to improve project delivery in Nigeria. ABA Capacity Group has listed a 200 billion infrastructure fund on the Nigerian exchange, aiming to address Nigeria's infrastructure deficit. The managing director of Ava Global Asset Managers Limited, Ife Share, described the listing as a monumental occasion, reflecting the company's commitment to Nigeria's infrastructure development. The Ava Infrastructure Fund is designed to bridge the country's infrastructure gap, estimated at around $100 billion. The fund will play a pivotal role in transforming key sectors, unlocking significant economic potential, and improving the quality of life for millions of Nigerians. The NGX CEO, Jude Chiemeka, praised the initiative, stating that such investments are crucial for driving economic growth and enhancing infrastructure across Nigeria. NGX Regulation Limited CEO Femi Shambojo highlighted the importance of considering investments in environmental, social and governance sectors. The senior doyen of the exchange, Sam Ndata, emphasized the fund's potential to catalyze economic growth and enhance connectivity across the country. The other infrastructure funds listing on the NGX is seen as a critical milestone in Nigeria's journey toward infrastructure development. The Lagos Commodities and Futures Exchange and leading commodities brokers have commended the federal government and the Central Bank of Nigeria for their directive mandating companies to channel the importation of basic food items through recognized commodities exchanges. The policy aims to enhance price discovery, reduce inflationary pressures, and bolster food security in Nigeria by requiring at least 75% of imported food basic items to be traded through commodities exchanges. Akin Akaredulo Ale, Managing Director of LCFE, hailed the policy as a proactive move, stated that it will benefit stakeholders across the entire value chain. He pledged LCFE's full support and cooperation in facilitating seamless transactions. Other industry leaders, including Sam Onukwe of Mega Equities, Kainde Hassan of GTI Group, and Olusheye Olusoga of Pathan Partners, also applauded the policy, emphasizing the need for collaboration with stakeholders, a comprehensive framework, and encouragement of farmers to increase outputs. The policy is seen as a critical step towards ensuring food security, price stability, and efficient distribution of food products across Nigeria. The Presidential Community Office has launched the Access to Water and Water Quality project to provide quality water in the southwest and north central zones. The project, in collaboration with NASIL, OPS Watch, Action Aid, and the Association of Professional Women Engineers of Nigeria, aims to address water scarcity and contamination in several communities. The initiative will provide solar-powered boreholes and advanced water treatment facilities to ensure access to clean drinking water. The Presidency's Senior Special Assistant on Community Engagement Southwest, Moremi Ojudu, noted that the project aligns with the Renewed Hope Agenda's goals to ensure or enhance water access and improve water quality. Dr. Nicholas Igwe from OPS Watch commended the collaboration, emphasizing the crucial role of government support in such initiatives. The project is expected to have a positive impact on the communities, ensuring access to clean and safe drinking water. The manufacturing sector grew by 1.28% year-on-year in second quarter 2024, according to the National Bureau of Statistics GDP report. However, the sector's growth slowed down compared to Q1 2024 and Q2 2023. The Manufacturers Association of Nigeria attributed the slow growth to the dwindling of industrial clusters, with over 700 businesses closing in recent years. The association's president, Francis Moshoye, called on the Monetary Policy Committee to refrain from increasing interest rates further. The MBS report showed that the manufacturing sector's real contribution to GDP was 8.46%, lower than the previous quarter. The industry sector grew by 3.53%, while the non-oil sector grew by 2.80%, driven by sectors like finance, insurance, and agriculture. Mishoye expressed concerns about the impact of interest rates on manufacturing businesses and the need for a favorable economic environment to boost growth. The Lagos Chamber of Commerce and Industry has called on the newly appointed managers of the $10 billion Nigerian Global Investment Fund to be accountable and transparent in their activities. The LCCI noted that the 23 selected companies, including AFC and Stanbic IBTC, must develop a framework to drive investment and hold themselves accountable. The fund aims to bring capital into Nigeria's real sector and reduce reliance on the oil sector. The fund managers are tasked with raising an average of $500 million in 14 sub-funds, including automotive, agriculture, and pharmaceuticals. The LCCI's Director General, Dr. Chinyere Almona, recommended periodic reporting on the fund managers' activities to ensure transparency and accountability. Economist Professor Shegu Ajibola also emphasized the importance of integrity and ethics in the fund managers' approach, noting that their success would depend on driving funds down to direct sector operators. The Nigerian Stock Exchange reversed its previous day's loss, gaining 117 billion naira on Thursday. The market capitalization and all-share index rose by 0.21% to close at 55.4 trillion naira and 96,407.8 respectively. Investors exchanged 996.97 million naira. Investors exchanged 996.97 million shares valued at 7.42 billion naira in 9,851 deals, representing a 117% increase in volume and a 64% rise in turnover. Out of 123 traded equities, 27 gained while 23 declined. Owando led the gainers with a 9.98% rise, closing at 69.95 naira per share, followed by Julius Berger Nigeria and Cornerstone Insurance. SCOA Nigeria suffered the largest decline, dropping at 9.79% to close at 1 naira 75 kobo per share. Consolidated Hallmark Holdings recorded the highest trading volume with 506 million shares changing hands, followed by FBN Holdings and Asset Holdings. The NGS rebound comes after a 176 billion naira loss on Wednesday. The Premium Bread Bakers Association of Nigeria has denied using substandard or unwholesome ingredients in bread production following the reports on the use of saccharin in bread. PBAN President Emmanuel Onuora stated that members comply with the NAFDAC regulations and ensure that all ingredients are safe and meet high quality standards. Onuora condemned a viral video claiming that Nigerian bread contains unwholesome ingredients, calling it misleading and damaging to bread makers' business. PBAN has established internal controls to ensure compliance with food processing laws and work closely with regulatory agencies like NAFDAC. NAFDAC Director General Moshosola Adeyeye also denied saying Nigerian bread is unsafe, denouncing the viral video as a misconstruing of a NAFDAC officer's statement. The video claimed that NAFDAC said bread sold in Nigeria fails laboratory tests due to the use of saccharin instead of sugar. The Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council, PEBEC, has stated that effective regulation of ministries, departments, and agencies, MDAs, and business facilitation agents enhances Nigeria's business environment. According to PEBEC's 2024 half-year Transparency and Efficiency Compliance Report, MDAs made significant progress, but more needs to be done to ensure high levels of efficiency and compliance. The report ranked the Nigerian Content Development and Monitoring Board as the best performing MDA with an 80.1% score, followed by the Standards Organization of Nigeria and the Nigerian Agricultural Quarantine Service. The report also identified the most improved MDAs and the worst performers, highlighting areas of improvement in efficiency and transparency. PEBEC urged MDAs to leverage the report to deepen their commitment to improving the experience of Nigerian citizens and the business community. The federal government has launched the National Environmental Battery Control Regulations 2024 to address battery waste management challenges. Regulations aim to ensure safe and environmentally sound management of batteries throughout their life cycle from production to disposal. Minister of Environment Balarabe Lawal highlighted the importance of battery control in preventing environmental and health risks associated with improper disposal. The regulations will formalize the battery recycling sector, promote safe disposal practices, and minimize environmental pollution. NESRIA Director General Dr. Innocent Bariko noted that the regulations will fill gaps in Nigeria's environmental policies and provide a framework for sustainable battery waste management. The House of Representatives Committee on Environment assured NESRIA of legislative backing for effective enforcement. The Eco Electricity Distribution Company has confirmed disconnecting the University of Lagos from the power grid over its failure to pay an outstanding debt of over 1 billion naira. EcoDC said the recent payment of 180 million naira by Unilag was a small fraction of the total debt. The university had claimed it was disconnected despite paying 180 million naira recently, but EcoDC said the payment was not enough to cover the debt. EcoDC added that it had engaged with Unilag multiple times before disconnecting the power supply. The company is willing to negotiate a phased repayment plan with Unilag to resolve the issue amicably. The disconnection has caused inconvenience to the university community, and EcoDC has appealed for understanding. The British Council has revealed that approximately 7 million African youths are unable to secure employment opportunities in the African labor markets every year. This is due to various challenges, including poor educational outcomes, a shortage of relevant skills, and low job creation. According to Vera Ngoma, British Council Country Director in Malawi, only 3.1 million new formal wage jobs are created annually despite 10 million youths entering the labor market. The organization emphasized the need for a coordinated approach to address these challenges, including aligning school work systems, promoting collaboration between training institutions and employers, and integrating educational and economic considerations. The British Council is working to address this issues through initiatives such as ISO Creative Online Learning Platform and Skills for Inclusive Digital Participation Program, which aim to equip youth with necessary skills and promote entrepreneurship. However, deeper investment is needed to make entrepreneurship a viable source of jobs in sub-Saharan Africa. The Securities and Exchange Commission has granted approval in principle to 2 digital asset exchanges, Busha Digital Limited and Technologies Limited. This approval allows them to operate under the Accelerated Regulatory Incubation Program, ARIP, and commence operations in Nigeria. Busha Digital operates a digital exchange that facilitates the buying and selling of crypto assets with fiat currency. It enables individuals and businesses in Nigeria and other developing economies to access basic digital asset investment services. Customers can use mobile and web applications to buy, sell, store, send, receive, trade, invest, and make payments in cryptocurrencies. Quidas Technologies Limited operates a cryptocurrency trading platform in Nigeria, leveraging blockchain technology to list and trade already issued crypto tokens. The platform is both web and mobile enabled for ease of access and use. Quidas also utilizes a digital wallet to enable its users to store, receive, and transact in various cryptocurrency. The SEC also admitted 5 other firms to test their models and technologies under the Regulatory Incubation Program. These firms include Trivatech Limited, RAP CBDC Limited, Dream City Capital, and Limited. The RI program accesses business models and innovates products in a real-time market environment under close supervision by SEC. The SEC urges the public to exercise caution when dealing with digital platforms and reminds them that only approved digital exchanges and platforms are legally authorized to carry out crypto trading in Nigeria. The Commission aims to ensure appropriate protection and transparency in digital asset trading and will continue to monitor and regulate the industry to protect investors. Nigeria has ranked 24th in Africa in terms of digital development, according to a report by StarTimes. The report evaluated countries based on information and communication technology development Libya topping the list at 88.1. Nigeria's ICT index score of 46.9 placed it behind neighboring countries like Ghana and Kenya. The report highlights Nigeria's challenges in digital growth, including high cost of implementation, reliance on imported components, and inconsistent policy directions. Experts emphasize the need for a stable policy environment and local production of essential components to drive digital growth. Despite these challenges, Nigeria has the potential to improve its standing in the ICT index and contribute to Africa's digital transformation. Initiatives like the deployment of additional fiber optic cables and collaborative governance aim to drive Nigeria's digital transformation and enhance internet connectivity. The Nigerian government aims to reach a target of 70% broadband penetration by 2025 and increase its fiber network to 125,000 kilometers. The report's findings underscore the need for Nigeria to address its digital development challenges and leverage its large population to drive growth and transformation in the ICT sector. We are open for advert placement, bookings, and commercials. Stay connected on ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic TV Network 1, X formerly Twitter, Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. Leaders from international and indigenous oil companies have reached a consensus on key issues regarding domestic crude oil supply obligations in Nigeria. The agreement was facilitated by the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Heineken Lapobiri, during a meeting with the Oil Producers Trade Section in Abuja. The meeting aimed to address misunderstandings about the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission's regulation concerning domestic crude oil supply. The minister emphasized the importance of dialogue and collaboration in resolving issues and aligning with government's objectives. Significant progress was made during the discussions, with most contentious issues resolved. A small committee will be formed to review the outstanding issues and report back within 2 days. The minister assured the public that the industry is united in its commitment to supporting local refining and creating a conducive environment for business operations. The agreement demonstrates the industry's willingness to work together to address challenges and support Nigeria's oil and gas sector. Nigerian statistics states have seen a significant increase in personal costs, reaching 2.76 trillion naira in 2024, up from 2.26 trillion naira in 2023. This surge raises concern about states' ability to pay salaries without relying on federal allocations. Only 11 states can independently fund salaries while 24 others may need to rely on allocations or borrowing. Experts recommended improving fiscal conditions to accommodate a higher minimum wage. The increase in wage bills is attributed to political decisions such as governors appointing numerous assistants. Critics advocate for reduced governance costs, eliminating waste, streamlining government agencies, and ensuring accountability. States with a wage bill above 100 billion naira include Oyo, Ogun, Delta, Akwa Ibom, Lagos, and Rivers. Meanwhile, about 12 state governors have appointed not fewer than 4,385 aides since assuming office in 2023. The development raises concerns about workers' productivity and state government's efficiency in internal revenue generation amid plans for a higher minimum wage. You're watching ATN Business on Atlantic Television Network. We will be back after this break. Welcome back to Atn Business on Atlantic Television Network. And now to the rest of our stories. The dollar is poised to snap a 5-week losing streak, trading near a 1-week high versus major peers. Robust economic data has paired bets for aggressive Federal Reserve interest rate cuts, boosting the dollar's value. The US dollar index rose 0.36% on Thursday, touching its highest level since August 22nd at 101.58. If the trend continues, the dollar will continue post a 0.66% gain this week, its best performance since early August. The euro, meanwhile, languished near a 2-week low against the dollar, trading flat at $1.1082. Cooling inflation in Germany and Spain has strengthened the case for European Central Bank easing, putting downward pressure on the euro. Later today, investors will closely watch consumer inflation readings from France, Italy, and the Eurozone, as well as the U.S. core personal consumption expenditure price index. This data releases will provide crucial insight into the current state of inflation and influence future economic decisions. Sterling held steady at $1.31655, recovering from an overnight dip to $1.3146, a level not seen since August 23rd. The currency market remains cautious ahead of the inflation data releases, which will offer clues about the direction of interest rates and economic policy. The naira depreciation refers to the decline in value of the Nigerian naira against other currencies, especially the US dollar. The naira has been experiencing a steady decline over the years with significant drops in recent times. This situation has made imports more expensive, leading to higher prices of goods and services and contributing to inflation. It has also affected the economy by making it difficult for businesses to import raw materials and equipment, leading to a decline in production and economic growth. The current naira to dollar rate stands at 1,590 naira 42 kobo to $1. This rate is subject to change, due to the market and economic factors. While we'll explore the factors contributing to the naira's decline, the impact on the economy and potential solutions to stabilize the economy, to have this discussion with me today, I have Comrade Inimba Emmanuel Okubewe, the National Chief of Staff of Petroleum Retailers Association of Nigeria. You are welcome, sir.
Oh, good afternoon, madam.
It's good to have you here. Finally.
Good afternoon, Nigerians.
Okay, so let's go right into the conversation. Considering the naira depreciation against the dollar, what are the primary causes of the naira depreciation and how have they evolved over time?
Well, a lot of sources, but I think, and I know sincerely, there's just a primary source, and that has to do with our sole source of income and source of living as well, which is we depend solely on oil.
Okay.
And because when you look at it, when it has to do with crude, the crude aspect of it, it has to also do with the refineries. Our refineries are not working. We have about 4 refineries in Nigeria, 2 in Port Harcourt, 1 in Delta State, Warri, and 1 in Kaduna State. And looking at it so far, like what the federal government has been saying, oh, Port Harcourt is ready, about to kickstart and everything, and later on it was postponed. Now they say next month. If you ask me when, I'll tell you that. If you ask me, now who are going to
I see. So we are saying that the crude is responsible for the naira depreciation against the dollar.
Yes, crude, apart from the crude, you know, it has to do with even domestic things we do, because for us now, look at Nigeria, I mean, a country that says we have crude, God-given crude, and we also have refineries. Refineries are not working, we're not refining, we're not producing, yet we import. It's quite painful. I'm coming from this area. Anyways, I'm from the Niger Delta, and you get to see what is playing out. In River State here, we have about close to 15 to 18 private depots. And most of these things are imports. Now, these products come, NNPC on its own does not even give to Imam. In fact, if man were lacking, most things go to DAPMAN, the Depot Owners Association. This has really cost a lot of, because ours is like when you get from NNPC direct, PPMC so to speak, now it is NNPC retail. So we keep following, being pushed from one end to the other. We don't have a solid foundation. Yet, we are stakeholders when it comes to supply and distribution of petroleum products in River State, in Nigeria as well as a whole. This is the bane of it, where you see the scarcity now coming up everywhere. Prices of petroleum products, especially that of PMS, has skyrocketed.
True.
Yesterday, I got for about 950 naira per liter. So I wonder if me, who is a marketer, who is a retailer, who is the national chief of staff of Petron, will get petrol at 950 naira. What about other Nigerians? This is what we cry out. This is what we're saying. Another aspect of it is to say, like, NNPC retail now, NNPC retail, there's a portal we use for loading out products to access, buy, and then go and load. This portal has been down for over 3 months now. It's been down. It's not on. So if it doesn't come, what do? We're looking for a manual way of doing things. I mean, Nigerians, we need to wake up. Thank you.
Okay, when you made mention of Datman and Ipman, I'm made to understand that there's this more like an internal struggle between these two organizations. I know that Datman is reluctant to selling to Ipman, and why do we have that issue anyways?
Because, I mean, if not for anything, for you want to have a tank farm, you want to get product and sell to the public. For government to approve that, you must agree to sell at government-owned price.
True.
And that is what Ipman stands for. That is what Petron stands for.
True.
So that for you to give to our retailers to be able to sell to the public, they must have what they can give to the public. You cannot give what you don't have. Hence, that's why, I'm sure that's why you go to stations now, you see product going for up to 950 naira as the case may be. Because the source of getting it, these products are not bought at or sold at government approved price. That is what everybody is facing.
Recently, the federal government has announced the selling of crude in Nigeria in Naira. So do you think this is going to help the Naira?
Certainly it will. And again, this was after Dangote had made up issues about him not having crude. And Nigerians were like, wow, is this what is actually playing out? Up to a point where I think one or two things were mentioned about Malta, where crude is being refined and then brought into the country. So a lot of things are really played out. If somebody like Dangote will open his mouth and shout and complain and make this, because he has a refinery. I mean, the project he has in Nigeria, somewhere in Lagos, I mean, if you go there, you see for yourself. A massive product, a massive project, and it costs over $20-something billion. At this point in time, nobody will invest on that kind of product, on that kind of product, and will not want it to function, and also yield dividends for him. He's done a good job. It's a fantastic job. And so for me, for federal government to say they want to sell crude at the Naira level to Dangote, not just Dangote, artisanal refineries as well, and maybe, of course, Port Harcourt refinery, the Warri refinery, and the others are also still owned by government. Certainly, they will still sell at with the Naira.
So when they sell with the Naira, this is going to boost the Naira.
It will boost the Naira. I mean, it will boost the Naira against the dollar. It will also boost, within economically, it will boost the economy. Not everything you go and purchase dollar price or dollar rate. Of course, in Nigeria, what we tender for buying and selling is Naira.
Well, that's what we are supposed to tender, because of the fact that, especially in the oil and gas sector, national transactions are being carried out in dollars. With the current Naira to dollar rate, it's safe to say that they'll be making more money. So how are we supposed to believe that the same people that make more money will really want to see the Naira appreciate against the dollar?
Certainly, it's not about going to see it. So we have to work as a team, as Nigerians. One, the refineries must start working, and federal government will also have to make sure. It's not saying there must be that political will to make these things work, these refineries. Once it starts working, certainly everybody will benefit. You will see the Naira appreciating. It will not just be an automatic thing. It certainly will take time, but it will. And of course, imagine now, look at AGU, which is diesel, so to say. AGU, now how much is over 1,000 Naira. And for it to move goods, maybe from the north, perishable goods, say like tomato, pepper, and everything, down to south, you know how much you pay for per truck. These things invariably affects the sale of tomatoes or pepper, as the case may be. So certainly, once the refineries are producing and they have finished products, which is AGU, DPK, PMS, HHK, DPK, ATK, as the case may be, these products will be cheap in the market. That is to say, once we have quantity supply is higher than the quantity demanded, we have enough, certainly everything will drop or come to equilibrium. So at this point in time, certainly the prices of products or the prices of transportation and other things will certainly go down.
So the more transactions we carry out internally with the Naira is going to help the Naira appreciate against the dollar. Okay. I would love to have you here to talk about the PMS and every other thing that comes to the oil sector. But for time's sake, I want to ask one question. Do you think the Central Bank of Nigeria has a role to play in the Naira depreciation?
It's a complex one to say, because I can remember the last time when the president said NNPC will no longer deal with the buying and selling of crude or this and that. They have to deal directly with the CBN.
Yeah.
And then later on, they came up and said it was then NNPC now said they are having issues to seal or complete the deal between OVH and NNPC or PPMC, as the case may be. As regards this takeover of, you can see most filling stations now, way back, filling stations, most of them used to bear the name Owando. They are no longer Owando. What you see now is NNPC.
Okay.
So is that takeover? And when the federal government came up with this issue that, look, anything transaction international must go through the CBN. And this, words came out from NNPC. It's better imagined than said. It's a complex issue, like I said.
So we can't really say they have a role to play in the Naira depreciation.
They try to, they won't just, it's not about, CBN will not just want to depreciate the Naira, not for any reason.
Okay.
What depreciates this Naira is what we do with our common goods, which is the crude that God has given us. I think there's a direct sale between direct sale and direct supply.
Okay. So just before we go, our time is up. What solution can be implemented to stabilize the Naira and strengthen the economy?
One, there must be a political will to do that. Two, NNPC should be independent of politicians.
Aha.
Do you understand? It should be independent of politicians. Let NNPC flow like the LNG model.
Okay.
Where stakeholders have certain levels of percentage share, and with that, collectively they make decisions that has to do with the running and growth of the establishment. Okay,
so this is where we wrap it up today. I get to say thank you to you, sir. I really hope to bring you here again, really soon this time.
Well then.
Okay, and that's it on this edition of Atn Business and Atlantic Television Network here in the city of Port Harcourt. I am Wendy Aguma. We are open for advertisements, bookings, and commercials. Stay connected on ATN socials, Facebook and YouTube, Atlantic Television Network, Instagram and TikTok, Atlantic One, X formerly Twitter, Atlantic TV Net. Watch us live on our website, atlanticnetwork.tv. Peace and unity are the pathways to progress. Up next is ATN Politics with Ray Ken. Thank you for watching and good afternoon.